Imagine a charity recruits 100 passionate people eager to help. Within the first 30 days, 25% of them will quietly vanish. They don't leave because they lose their passion for the cause. They leave because the software they're forced to use is incredibly frustrating. Take Mary, for example. She is a retired senior citizen. She has ample free time, and she wants nothing more than to serve meals at her local food bank. But before she can hand out a single apple, she hits a digital wall. To simply claim a shift, Mary has to navigate a web portal with confusing, multi-step logins and tiny, inaccessible text. Once she finally gets in, the system starts bombarding her phone with automated push notifications and post-shift surveys, creating endless digital noise. Passion has a hard time surviving that level of friction. A poorly designed user interface takes a volunteer's raw community enthusiasm and quickly turns it into isolating frustration, causing them to disengage entirely. Even when a volunteer pushes through the onboarding process, the barriers follow them to the physical point of service. Let's say Mary arrives for her afternoon shift and taps her name into the food bank's self-service check-in tablet, but the tablet drops its Wi-Fi connection. Because of a flaw in the software, it doesn't alert Mary. It just fails to cache her check-in locally, resulting in silent data loss. She works for 3 hours, and the system records absolutely nothing. Mary quickly learns she can't trust the technology. To make sure her hours are counted, she bypasses the broken software entirely and just texts the volunteer coordinator directly from her personal phone. Now multiply Mary's text message by 100 other confused volunteers. The coordinator is suddenly buried in an administrative avalanche, forced to maintain parallel manual systems using scattered text threads, shared spreadsheets, and paper calendars just to keep the operation running. This kind of manual data entry consumes up to 20 hours of a coordinator's week. At average compensation rates, that is roughly $7,000 a year in staff time actively diverted away from the charity's actual cause. The software was originally purchased to automate tedious scheduling and save the nonprofit time. Instead, it becomes a massive administrative tax that starves frontline mission delivery. The root cause of all this friction is often an architectural collision between databases. Specifically, it is the structural mismatch between traditional donor management systems and volunteer scheduling software. Major customer relationship managers are donor-centric. They are built almost exclusively to track financial transactions and giving histories. Volunteer databases, on the other hand, are shift-centric. Their entire logic is built around time tracking, capacity rules, and logistical fulfillment. When organizations try to force these two conflicting data models together using cheap add-on modules, the systems fight each other. This results in catastrophic API formatting errors and sync failures that paralyze the software. This technical chaos bleeds over to the volunteers. Because users interact with these portals sporadically, they forget their passwords or sign up with slight name variations. This creates the duplicate profile paradox, where a single volunteer generates multiple fragmented accounts. When administrators try to clean up the database by merging those duplicates, legacy systems often use highly destructive, irreversible algorithms. If a newer, blank profile is selected as the master record, it will completely overwrite and permanently delete the volunteer's hard-earned historical data. Forcing incompatible, piecemeal software together systematically erases the recorded legacy of a volunteer service, turning years of dedication into a blank digital slate. To stop the bleeding, organizations have to abandon these fragmented setups. They need a single, unified operational ecosystem, like Highbox. Looking closely at the volunteer management module shown here, Highbox removes the initial digital walls. It provides clear, public-facing applications that are easy for volunteers to navigate, and it automatically calculates contributed hours, so volunteers never have to wonder if their time was recorded. And when it comes to executing complex events, the platform rescues the administrative staff. As shown in this event execution breakdown, it replaces chaotic group texts with organized, real-time communication channels, giving every volunteer clear task assignments with explicit deadlines. Because this is all centralized through a dedicated mobile app, everyone stays perfectly synced on the ground. The massive communication gaps and slow response times of legacy web portals are completely eliminated. By unifying the underlying digital architecture, nonprofits cure that creeping sense of isolation. They stop treating volunteers as plug-and-play labor units. and start supporting them as a deeply connected, cohesive community. This shift from chaotic software to a unified ecosystem yields a highly specific, quantifiable return on investment for the organization's daily bandwidth. This table details weekly time distribution. Time managing emails plummets from 12 hours to 3. Searching for files drops from 4 hours to 1. Ultimately, staff gains 16 hours back every week, repurposing 2 entire workdays for frontline mission work. Technology in the nonprofit sector should act as invisible scaffolding. It should quietly lift up and support the community you are trying to serve, rather than acting as a digital barrier you constantly have to fight against. By removing digital friction, organizations free their teams, respect their volunteers, and gain the power to do more good. Start your free trial or schedule a demo today at highbox.co.